The road show continues. Back in Mesa. Uh, Left Sedona this morning. Drove through Jerome, which is a cool old town, on my way to Prescott. Um, yeah, I'm kind of leaning towards Sedona. Prescott was nice, nice little town. It's not that little anymore. Um, but a lot of traffic. Um, really surprised with everything going on. Right, every place else is dead, and there was a lot of traffic up there. So I don't know. Um, I'm I'm like I said, leaning towards Sedona, but we'll see. I'm not making a decision yet. Um, Looking at the economy. Last week when we had the oil crash, one trader started the day with $77,000 in his account. At the end of the day, he owed 9 million. That's a day trader. Remember when I was talking about derivatives? Those haven't even come in yet. I think that oil plunge tanked the whole thing. It was probably it was tanked before then. You can't shut down the worldwide economy for 2 months and think that everything's going to be okay. You just can't. This thing's over. Get your money out. Don't be an idiot. You're going to lose it if you leave it. This thing can't go on much longer. Q's dropping like crazy. I'm telling you. Let's see. The economy's tanking worldwide, and they're ready to arrest Clapper, Brennan, Comey, Obama, Clinton. What do you think's going to happen? The economy cannot survive this. It's just getting worse and worse, guys. Got to get your money out. Let's see. One of our members actually had a run-in at a doctor's office and stood his ground and got him to back down. He wouldn't wear a mask. Basically say, hey, it's not a law. I'm not doing it. And they, okay. So that's not going to go that way all the time. But here's the other thing, though. And we've got a mayor in Ventura in California going off the rails too. Getting neighbors to spy on each other, and they're going to take kids out of the home if they don't have separate bathrooms for the kids. If the kids have it and they don't, it's the police really need to step up. Listen, they take an oath when they get their jobs to defend the Constitution. You can't be doing this if you're a police officer. I don't care what the mayor says. The mayor doesn't have the authority to change a law or to make a law off the top of his head. He's not a governor. He can't write an executive order. This is overreaching horribly. And listen, and here these guys don't care because it's not their money. But there are going to be so many lawsuits over all this crap and all the constitutional violations. All these municipalities, these counties, these cities, they're going bankrupt. I mean, that's what they don't care because they're going bankrupt anyway. They know it. But maybe some of them should be going to jail because this is criminal. They know it's illegal what they're doing. Something odd is going on in parking lots around the country. They're filling up with cars that dealers can't sell. There's a glut of used cars that are flooding the market. The new cars, I talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Miles and miles of desert filled up with new cars that they can't sell. And now we got this going on. Trust me, if you need a car that you're going to need to pay cash for, just hold on for a few weeks, because just wait till you see what happens to the used car market. Well, the auto market in general. I'm saying within a year, you're going to be able to buy a brand new car for a couple of $1,000. You will be able, now it might be a 5-year-old brand new car, like never driven, 0 miles. There's thousands of them, tens of thousands of them. Millions probably around the country. They haven't been able to sell for 10 years. They didn't want to glut the market, so they would just go park them if they couldn't get them sold. Now you got all these used cars from all of the rental companies they can't get rid of. Good time to be looking for a car. But give it another month or so. It's going to be noticeable, the price differences. Write it down. Within 6 months, new cars for a couple of $1,000. Just wait. Let's see. Twitter defends China after State Department IDs a Chinese virus propaganda network. So it's okay for the Chinese to spread fake information. And Twitter's going to back China over our own State Department? Twitter needs to be shut down. Dorsey, I think all of these CEOs, I think they might all be executed. I can't wait. Zuckerberg, Dorsey, Schmidt, Bezos, all going down. They're definitely going to have their assets seized. Make them live homeless for a while. Make them penniless and homeless. Then execute them. Treason. You're conspiring against the United States of America. That's treason. And they have all conspired against America. Every one of those CEOs. Yeah. Oh, boy. CIA. All of them are CIA operatives. Deep state CIA operatives. All of these platforms were developed by the CIA. They belong to us. Our tax dollars paid for their development. Kern County doctors challenge the virus narrative. Honest data proves the hoax by CDC. Then all their videos are pulled. This isn't about fake news. This is about covering the tracks of the traitors, the deep state, the globalists. They're all complicit. And yeah, in fact, there's another headline up here. The Guardian. Whose entire global development section is underwritten by the Gates Foundation. Imagine that. Describes how scientists have found more evidence that the virus can travel on air pollution particles. More fear porn put out by Bill Gates with the collusion of the media. Unreal. I think we are very close to President Trump seizing control of the media. and these corporations. We're close. Could happen this month. Let's see. You can't make this stuff up. I mean, it's ridiculous. Is POTUS kicking Saudi Arabia to the curb the beginning of something not so terrible? Yeah. It's the beginning of something really good. Saudi Arabia is going down. They're getting their ass kicked in Yemen. They're getting their ass kicked in the oil market. They're ready to fold. Saudi Arabia is going down. They can't survive. They need $50 a barrel just to break even with all their debt. They need $50 a barrel to break even. Not $50 a barrel. They're ready to tank. And that's a good thing. They need to tank. Listen, all of these globalist propped up states need to come down. Globalism is over. It's dead. And we're going to see a surge in constitutional republics. After we get through this fiasco the next 6 months, you're going to see a surge of countries throw the globalists out, string them up in the streets maybe, and they're all going to go to constitutional republics. They all should adopt our Constitution is what they should do. Save the world. Our Constitution and the Second Amendment save the world. Yeah, he's also, President Trump's pulling the Patriot missile system they just put in last year. Losing the price war with Russia. Global virus deaths top 275,000. This has been going on now for, what, almost 3 months? 7.5 billion people in the world and 275,000 deaths. This is less dangerous than the flu, than the common flu. The masks don't help. This is all bullshit. It's a way to scare people, get them to cooperate, make them think they're going to die. Sheep. A bunch of sheep, and then a bunch of, ratting your neighbors out? Really? Come on. Ridiculous. Again, the police, I'm embarrassed. I mean, it's one of the reasons why I never got, my degree's in criminal justice. And people ask me all the time, well, why didn't you get into law enforcement? Because I saw what it was back in the 70s. I saw what it was. How corrupt it was back then. Guys laughing about, either falsifying reports, and they're beating a suspect, or shooting a suspect and dropping a throwaway gun that can't be traced. So it was self-defense. All the other officers back them up. That crap's got to stop. The law is the law. If we're going to return to the rule of law, that means everybody. Everybody. Cops included. There's not a two-tiered system, although, well, our founders didn't intend a two-tiered system. We've had a two-tiered system for a long time. It's got to change. It is changing. It's changing right now. Nobody is above the law. Those that are guilty are going to pay. They're going to get what they deserve. The justice they deserve is coming. Good stuff, guys. I mean, listen, if you can't see it now with what's going on with General Flynn, this whole script has been flipped. They're running for the hills now. They see it coming. You can see the fear in these guys. They know they don't have much time left. Like rats leaving the ship. The sinking ship. America has become a powder keg that's ready to explode at any time. People are angry. They're angry at the government. They're angry at the virus. They're angry about having no money. It's cognitive dissonance is what that anger is. People are scared because they don't understand what's happening. They can't piece the puzzle together. And so they lash out. That's what's happening. There's not going to be a lot of civil unrest. People are just frustrated. And they're scared. But the thing is, if they quit listening to the mainstream media and open their eyes and use their critical thinking skills, they wouldn't be afraid because there's nothing to be afraid of. It's a joke. They're getting their neighbors to rat out neighbors because they got them in a state of fear. That's what the globalists want. They feed on fear. Don't play into it. There's nothing, absolutely nothing to fear. From the virus, from what's ahead of us, from the economy collapsing, from the swamp being drained, to the pedophiles being exposed and eradicated. Where's the downside? What are you afraid of? You afraid because we're going to eradicate the monsters that have been torturing and murdering 800,000 children a year in America alone? Why would you be afraid of that? You're afraid because the economy's going to collapse? Well, I would understand people being a little bit fearful if they didn't have answers, if they didn't understand, if they didn't know what was coming. Because if you know what's coming, a worldwide economic collapse, you can prepare for it by buying physical silver and Litecoin. Then you're cheering for the collapse because it's going to make you a millionaire. Far richer than you could have ever imagined with your piddly retirement. And trust me, if you've got 25 Litecoin and 100 ounces of silver, your retirement's going to seem piddly in 3 or 4 years. You're going to be really glad this happened. Your family is going to be really glad this happened. The Watchmen and their families are going to be really glad this happened. If you missed the boat, if you heard this message and you ignored it, you're not going to be very happy. You're going to be kicking yourself in the ass for the rest of your life. And you deserve it. Because the evidence is so clear. And when somebody's given you a blueprint on how to navigate it, and you ignore it, you deserve what you get. I mean, that's the cold, hard truth, guys. You got to be smart enough to act. You got to get off your asses and do something. Because if you're waiting for the government to take care of you, President Trump's doing the best job he can. He's doing his job of getting rid of these monsters. It's our job to be ready for what's coming. It's that simple. More evidence mounts, get this, that the virus may not be natural. Do you think that there's a patent on it? Might be the first clue that it's not natural? Really? Come on, Jesus. Yeah, it's not natural. And it's not dangerous. If you're a healthy adult, you have absolutely nothing to fear from the virus. Just don't take Advil or ibuprofen. Drink quinine water, tonic water, and 50 to 100 milligrams of zinc. You'll be fine. You don't even need to go to the doctor. In fact, I wouldn't go to the doctor. If I thought I had it, the doctor would be the last place I went, based on how they're handling this. They don't have your best interest at heart. Their best interest is in dying virus patients because they get paid more money for them. Don't go to the doctor unless you're elderly and extremely ill. If you're a healthy adult, man up. Get through it. Take your tonic water and zinc. You'll be fine. J.C. Penney strikes a $500 million bankruptcy deal. What moron is lending J.C. Penney $500 million in this environment? You got to be kidding me. Crazy. They're expected to file next week. Complicit and compliant. The media has a lot to answer for with how this whole thing's been handled. I mean, it's again, if you use your critical thinking skills, it's really easy to see that the media is working with the CIA. There's no other way to look at this. They've been lying for almost 5 years now. It's almost 5 years since President Trump announced. It's been nonstop. When have they told the truth? I mean, time after time after time. Oh, they got evidence on Trump. They got evidence. He's going down. Time after time. Guaranteed evidence. He's guilty. I've seen it. Not a shred of evidence. How many times has it been? What do you need? What do you have to see to understand you're being duped? That the media is not telling us the truth. The politicians, the globalists are not telling us the truth. Don't listen to what people say. Watch what they do. That's how I know President Trump isn't a globalist, because I've been watching him. You can't point to one thing where he backed a globalist agenda. Not one thing. He's opposed them every step of the way. He's destroyed 300 years of their hard work. Destroyed it in less than 3. And you think he's a globalist? You think he's a bad guy, a black hat on the inside? No, we got rid of them. That was Obama. That was Clinton. That was Holder. That was Rice. They're all gone, and it's going to get worse for them. Coming real soon. All right. What do we got for questions? Patricia, how you doing? Roxanne, hello. Matt, what's up? Barbara wants to know what a gamma storm is, and I believe it's gamma rays, I think. If you're talking about space, I'm not 100% sure your context. President Trump, I think, is on the verge of seizing control of the media. We'll see. Thought you guaranteed the stock market crash last week. Didn't guarantee it. Said that's what I figured. I'll guarantee you one thing. The worldwide economy is crashing this year. All you have to do is look at all the data. If you don't see it, you need to look harder. They can print more money and we're going to go into hyperinflation. $1 trillion a month they're dumping into this to keep it moving, to keep the wheels turning. Darren, what's up? Listen, guys, I am always going to be early. You can't be a watchman and be late. Get used to it. I've been doing it for 5 freaking years. Everything that I've been talking about for 5 years is happening right now. Open your eyes. If you don't see it, something's wrong. Deborah got the graviola tea. Bought it. Hasn't received it yet. Yeah, listen. California touting immunization for all. Gates pushing the vaccine. We're not going to be safe till we have a vaccine. Never going to happen. Most of these people might even be executed before they ever have a vaccine. And President Trump will never force vaccines on Americans. This crap is all going to end with his administration. All of it. Shirley's having problems with family and red pilling. Guys, I've been saying it was easier people got less upset 5 years ago than I'm seeing today. Much worse reactions than 5 years ago when everybody thought I was crazy. It's cognitive dissonance. It's these people seeing that we're starting to make sense and they just can't accept it. That's why they're lashing out. So don't weaken. Keep pushing. Don't be intimidated by people lashing out. You've planted the seed. Move on to the next one. But don't back down. Don't back off. Paula, how you doing? Jane, what's up? Susie, how's the house hunt going? Tessie, what's up? Paula. Cindy's asking, if the banks close or banks collapse, how are you going to get your exchange from Litecoin? You don't need the banks with cryptocurrencies, guys. That's the whole beauty of it. Within 6 months of the collapse, you will be able to buy anything with Litecoin. Anything you want with Litecoin. You'll be able to get a credit card against your Litecoin. This is going to change the world. It's going to change how we do business. Don't get wrapped up into thinking about how is this going to fit into this system, because it's not. It's going to change the system. The system is going to change revolving around cryptocurrency and getting away from the banking industry because they're criminals. They're crooks that have been stealing us blind for 100 years, and they're going to be exposed. No one is going to want to put their money in a bank again. No one. That's why the other reason cryptocurrencies are going to explode. It's the perfect storm for it to happen. Oh, and hey guys, don't think I'm talking about Watchmen. I'm talking about, the America in general. And mostly the sheep. Roxanne talking about, I think, carbon 60. 6 days, 6 days on carbon 60, and her pain is gone and flexibility is returning. Look at that. Good job, Roxanne. Same experience I had, guys. Okay, guys, listen. You don't need a lot of money. $20 can change your life. Everybody could come up with $20. Don't buy Starbucks for a week. Or cigarettes or beer. You can come up with $20. You put $20 in Litecoin today, you're a millionaire in 4 years. So there's no excuses here. You don't need $1,000 even, let alone $1,000,000. And you'll make up for most of what you lost. For a couple $100, guaranteed. Anything you got in your pension fund in the bank, you'll more than make up. By multiples, probably 100 times multiples. David, what's happening? Honestly, for the middle class, this is the best opportunity in human history, guys. We're never going to see another opportunity like this. We've never had an opportunity like this in the past. Take advantage of it. They're all going to pay. Every single person who's guilty of treason or murdering children is going to pay. Listen, to the people that have never heard the message, what's going to happen is going to happen. Those are the people we're going to be helping after the fact with our donations and the work we're going to do with the way. We do what we can now. That's why I keep telling you guys we have to push so hard now. It's better to get them now than after the fact. After the fact, that's where our dollars are going to go to. The people who didn't get the message. But if you got the message and you didn't listen to it, those are the people I'm talking to now. Matt, how you doing? Yeah. Stay away from the doctors. Eleanor, how you doing? Todd, what's up? Chris, Kevin, sister-in-law Heidi, how you doing? Okay, so Heidi just found a good deal. If you go directly to Good and Cheap, you can actually get it for, instead of $20, you can get it for 18 if you buy 6 or more. So that adds up, guys. Good job, Heidi. 12 bottles, you get $3 off with free shipping. Thanks, Heidi. Good job. Jeff, what's up? Cody. Oh, QFC just sent out a memo saying they're going to have a meat shortage. Just letting everybody know. Thanks, Cody. Yeah, guys, I think this is an engineered meat shortage. You notice Gates is pushing a protein meat or a meat-free protein option. What a coincidence, huh? I'm not buying anything from Gates. I can't wait until he hangs. Jeff, Cowgirl Kathy. I'm a Corona immune. Cecil just started Carbon 60. Good things are happening with his knee joints. Good job, Cecil. Yeah, I mean, Listen, guys, no one should be fearful. When you see people that are fearful, you got to talk to them and explain it to them. Listen, the mortality rate on this virus is less than 1%. It's a fraction, less than half of the mortality rate of the flu. Nothing to be fearful of. Nothing to be fearful of from the collapse. Uh, yeah, and listen, guys, if you've got like more serious health issues, I recommend a double dose of carbon 60, once in the morning and once at noon. So 30 mil a day instead of 15. Like somebody with serious medical conditions, cancer, dementia, Alzheimer's, give it to them. MS, I think it might help with MS. Good for your mom, Susie. Carbon 60 helps with your memory too, according to Cowgirl Kathy. We are going to take our country back, Cecil. It's happening right now. That's what's been going on for 3 years. We've slowly but surely been weeding out the globalists of the key positions so we could do this takedown with no interference. Susie wants to know which bottle I bought. Well, the bottle's different now. I think it's in a tan bottle. I don't have any handy right now, but it's good and cheap carbon 60 in olive oil. Good and cheap carbon 60 in olive oil. That's simple. Now, according to Heidi, just go to good and cheap. Buy it direct from, I'd rather buy it from them anyway than Amazon, even if it was the same price. Nasera Penny's is asking about Nasera. Tita, how you doing? Nasera, guys, that's a kind of a complicated program that talks about bankruptcies in America, and this has been going on for a long time. I don't talk about it much because they've missed a lot of deadlines. So I'm not saying it's not going to happen. I'm saying I'll believe it when it does happen. Um, it might be too good to be true. Listen, it doesn't make any difference. If you have if you're prepared, extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical, silver, and Litecoin, Nasser's not going to make any difference to you. Because you're going to be so wealthy, Nasser's no big deal. Just get prepared. Yeah, Nasser would just be icing on the cake. Terry hit it on the head. And I keep saying, I would not trade places with anybody at any time in history. This, without doubt, is the greatest time to be alive. If you want to see the greatest transfer of wealth in human history, man's greatest achievement of eradicating this evil that's controlled us since Babylon, 1,000 years of peace and prosperity, man's greatest age. Why would you want to live at any other time? This 10-year period, the last 5 years and the next 5 years, are going to be the most studied period in mankind's history. Why would you want to live at any other time? It's awesome, guys. You just got to hang in there and quit falling in to the fear trap of the globalist. There is zero to fear. Don't let them beat you. If you're fearful, they're beating you. I'm going to start a boot camp, a fear boot camp. I'll work the fear out of you. Hey, you're not going to get any fake news here. I'm not right all the time. I'm right a hell of a lot more than mainstream media, though. And I'm all right a hell of a lot more than Fox News, too. Bert Davis, is that you, Rita? Marlene, how you doing? Benny, how you doing? Well, yeah, they were trying to turn us into a Muslim country. They were trying to sneak all the Muslims in. That's what the whole listen. They destabilized. That's what 9/11 was one of the biggest objectives of 9/11 was to create a Pearl Harbor type event to create outrage against where they pointed the finger at the Middle East so they could destabilize the Middle East, create the Muslim refugee crisis. Look what it did to the EU. Might have destroyed the EU. They were trying to do the same thing to America. Not going to happen. The Muslims are going home. Mark my words. They will not be welcome here. Unless they want to reform that so-called religion, they're not going to be welcome in America. Sharia law isn't going to cut it here. It's not compatible with our Constitution. That's not hate speech. That's a fact. Sharia law is illegal in America. If you got $100, split it 50-50. Put $50 in Roosevelt dimes, 90% dimes, put $50 in Litecoin. There's Kevin. Anybody has any questions? Litecoin, Silver, Coinbase, Gemini, Ledger, get a hold of Kevin. 702-325-9258. I got his number memorized. Yeah, Cecil just upped my prediction. 99% of the vote goes to President Trump. It could be. It really could be. Well, listen, guys, we all want to try and mend fences, but that's for each of you to decide because our number one job is red pilling and preparing. That goes all the way up until at least the arrests start and probably into the arrest, depending on what happens with the economy. Once everything blows up, then we shift gears, and there's no more sense in red pilling because it's over. It's all out in the open. Then we shift gears to the way, and put all of our focus there. Right now, the most important thing we can be doing is red pilling and preparing, because that's just going to build the foundation for the way. There's a method to my madness. The IRS will be abolished at some point. I can't tell you exactly when, but it's going to be abolished. The same with the CIA. The Fed is virtually abolished now. It's been taken over by the Treasury. So they're pretty much done already. 50-50. If you guys got big dollars, then you might split it up a little bit differently. But pretty much you want to split your investment 50-50. Half in silver, half in Litecoin. Thanks, Jeff. Thanks to Heidi. Yeah, there's a couple of videos Kevin's posting here. Everybody should watch. Yeah, 700 infected in one plant. You don't think that was a CIA op, a deep state op? They're trying to starve us to death. That's what they were going to do. They're trying to destroy the supply chain, destroy our food supplies, create this virus that killed millions, destroy the economy that they hoped would kill millions. Sorry, guys, not going to happen. President Trump was ready. But pretty, I mean, look how devious these bastards are. Yeah, and listen, Kathy's talking about, farmers having to plow under their beef, their cows, and they just had to, because they didn't have the workers for the processing plants, they couldn't process these animals. They had to plow them under because they infected all the workers. Yeah, I'm not eating. I can guarantee you, I will never eat anything that came from Gates. Ever. Not going to happen. Samantha, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah, send it to Roxanne has the right idea. Send her ration to Obama and Hillary at Gitmo. Yeah, trust me, that is not a coincidence that Gates is coming out with this. I want to analyze what's in that crap. Carbon 60 is amazing. Within 5 years, everyone in the world will be on carbon 60. The first business I'm going to open when we get through this is a carbon 60 plant. Metabolism, Jeff, if you're talking about carbon 60, I was less hungry. It was easier for me to lose weight. I couldn't take it at night. When I first started, I was taking it 3 times a day. Had to quit taking it in the evening. And I had all kinds of energy. It's amazing stuff, I'm telling you. Everybody in the world is going to be on this stuff in 5 years. Tan bottle. The new one is tan. It used to be white. Litecoin and physical silver. For Kevin. Yeah, guys. God wanted me to question everything that he told me, and I did. And I put in the last 5 years plus 25,000 hours of research. And what all that research showed me was that everything that God told me or showed me was 100% true. And now, when we're at the end, it's all happening. Every single thing is happening. So, yeah, I mean, listen, I think there's other coins that are going to do okay, but there's 2,000 cryptocurrencies. The top three, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. Of those three, Litecoin is the most versatile. It's the fastest, it's the least expensive, it's the one that is the best option as a means of settling debt. That's why I believe Litecoin will surpass Bitcoin in price within 10 years. So do what you want. I'm 100% of my liquid assets are in Litecoin and silver. So you guys do what you want. I'm doing what God told me to do. You're welcome, David. Thanks for everything you do, buddy. David posts to 10 to 15 sites every single night. post the live chats. The one thing there's two things you guys can do to really help right now. Everybody share the live chats. Everybody go to both the Watchmen page and the Watchmen Way page. When you do that, there'll be a little blue button, an invite button. When you click that button, your whole friend list will come up. Invite everybody on your friends list. If you want to help Red Pill, and I'll tell you what, you'll be amazed at the people who accept the invites, because I've been doing this now for 5 years, and there's people who've refused 10 times when I've invited them. They're now starting to accept the invites. So don't be intimidated. Do it and just watch to see what happens. Remember what I've said? One of my quotes? Sometimes the thing you fear the most is the best thing for you. I think this could be one of those things. No fear. Do it and see what happens. Can't hurt. The worst thing it's going to do is plant a seed. Kevin's asking if I think a new evil won't take its place. No, it won't, because a new evil won't be allowed to take its place. For one reason, because the Watchmen are going to be there watching. You know, these things don't happen in a vacuum. You see these things happening. We just didn't act before. Now we're going to know we have to act, because we're never going to get in this position again. The Watchmen will make sure that it never happens again. Anytime globalism or Satanism rears its ugly head, it's going to be chopped off. They will not make the inroads again. They did this time. This was their only shot. They blew it. And I'm not saying the world's going to be perfect, but we are eradicating 90% of the evil in the world. The people that have been responsible for every war the last 300 years, every terrorist attack, every school shooting, every false flag, these people have been responsible for. 800,000 kids a year that go missing, they've been responsible for. The drug trade, they've been responsible for. The destruction of our families and our educational system, they've been responsible for. They're being eradicated at the same time the way is taking hold and exploding across the world. The way where you do the right thing every time. You tell the truth every time. You live your life in the service of others. You treat people with respect. There's no violence unless it's in self-defense. There's no priest. There's no pope. The church is in all of us. It's in everything we do every day. Tell me the downside. Tell me how evil's ever going to come back from this when God is in every corner of our world. Not going to happen. That day is done on this earth. So no, evil will not come back. We won't allow it. And again, we're never going to be evil free. We're humans. We're going to make mistakes. But it's not going to be engineered evil. And that's what we've been dealing with for thousands of years. Their power structure is being destroyed. Their wealth is being confiscated. They're going to start at the bottom, and our boots are going to be on their necks. They're not coming back from this. Everybody have sound. Jeff's having problems. Somebody had this the other night. No problem with the sound, guys. God's children will be plentiful and educated and strong. That's how we keep this from never happening again. We don't let them dumb us down. We don't let them manipulate our critical thinking skills away. We are vigilant. We use our critical thinking skills. We use our discernment. We use our intellect to make sure this never happens again. We don't become complacent, because now we're going to know what they're capable of. Oh, listen, guys, you can expect from here until President Trump takes them down, there's going to be rampant censorship. Just expect it. Don't be surprised. A lot of stuff's going to be deleted. Keep going. Keep posting. Keep fighting. Anything in the Bible that mentions what, and you better get back to the Bible class. So anybody who has any questions about the Bible and how this fits in, watch the video from, what was it, yesterday? Or the last couple of days? Listen, guys, the Bible was assembled by globalists. Emperor Constantine, 330 AD, Council of Nicaea. That's the fact. A globalist assembled the Bible. A globalist was responsible for what books went in the Bible. The Bible is not meant to be taken literally. God is not happy with how we use the Bible, especially how we use it to attack each other with, how we use it to judge each other with. That's not how it was supposed to be used. It's a book of comfort. It's a history of the Jewish and the Catholic people. God's not happy with the church. He's not happy with how we use the Bible. Yeah, guys, listen, they're going to keep calling us nuts until the end. So, like water off a duck's back, ignore it. Yeah, and listen, guys, we're crushing it. I mean, the membership going up every day, more and more people looking for answers. It's all good, guys. Keep pushing. Taxation is theft. Yeah, a good idea, guys. Stock up your freezers with meat. We're going to add that to to our list. Extra food, including lots of meat. Yeah, I think this month, guys, we're going to see some big arrest. Japan came out yesterday, said the virus is all about Soros, Bill Gates, and the World Health Organization. Against the United States Constitution. They hit it right on the head, guys. The world's talking about it. Yeah, it's not easy raising these cattle. Well, who do you think? Let's think about this. Critical thinking skills. Who do you think would infect the workers? Bill Gates, maybe? The deep state? Pretty obvious. How did Bill Gates know there would be a meat shortage? Because he helped infect the plant. That's how he would know. Listen, look at the statistics. 700 workers in one plant. Do the math on what percentage that is compared to the rest of the population. It's a fact. These people were purposely infected. Just look at the numbers. Statistically, it's impossible. Yeah, he knew there was going to be a meat shortage because they engineered it like they engineer almost everything. Don't expect a literal result with what's coming of the Bible. Keep an open mind about what's coming, guys. It's not going to be what you think. We're not going to have the Armageddon that we were all worried about. We averted that when we elected President Trump. We were going to have the real Armageddon, the physical Armageddon, if Hillary got elected. President Trump brought us the spiritual Armageddon. We're going through it right now. Behind the scenes, our military has been fighting for the last couple of years underground, defeating evil. That's been the Armageddon the Bible was talking about. Again, the Bible was manipulated by evil people. Can't take it literally. See you, David. Thanks. Yeah, carbon-60 is it's an expensive process. You've got to arc the right carbon rods together. Yeah, and then you gotta filter the stuff. It's involved, and that's why it's so expensive. Carbon-60, the actual carbon-60, it's more expensive than gold. Multiples more expensive than gold. Guys, listen, I'm not freezing. If you're freezing, it's happening on your end. Because on my end, I know when the problem's on my end because I freeze here too. So the problem's on your ends, guys. Yeah, I have no way of doing that, Deborah. And the other thing you guys can do is go back and watch the replay. I think if you watch the replay and you're on Wi-Fi, you shouldn't have any trouble with it. No, oh, listen. Uh, Jason wants to know if I think they're going to court martial, and they're not. They're going to go to military tribunals. All of the big dogs are going to go to military tribunals, and yes, they will be executed. Anybody who's committed treason, I believe they're going to execute. And remember, the reason they're doing military tribunals, the trials, instead of taking 6 months, take 6 days or less. There's no appeal in a military tribunal. If you're convicted of treason, and they don't call them judges, um, whatever the military judge is, sentence you to death, they march you out of the courtroom and they execute you on the spot. That's what's going to happen to Obama and Clinton. Bush too. Listen, um, when this is over, and there's 160,000 sealed indictments. They're going to get all of them. All these politicians, wait till you see what happens to California. 90% of the elected officials in California, I think, are going to be indicted, at least in the state government. Plant seeds, guys. Keep planting those seeds. Thanks, David. Yeah, just like the old West. String them up. Fluoride in the water. Another one. Poison. They put in our water, claiming it's for our teeth. See you, Dennis. The Pope said if President Trump is reelected, God will leave America forever. God left the Catholic Church a long time ago, Pope. Listen, this Pope is a Satanist. This Pope is going to be executed unless he commits suicide first. The Catholic Church comes down this year. The Pope's going to resign. The Catholic Church is going to collapse from the inside. Don't blame me. I'm just the messenger. And listen, I was raised Catholic. I was an altar boy. I went to parochial school. I know the Catholic Church. When I was 12 years old, I knew it was corrupt. Amen, Kevin. No problem, Kathleen. I'm just speaking for myself. I just speak louder than most people. This is my listen. When I was in high school, I can't tell you how many girlfriends I had who, sitting down to dinner with my family, left in tears because our discussions, most people thought were arguments. I talk loud. I get excited. That's why God picked me. This could be suicide weekend. That's right, Kevin. A lot of suicides coming, guys. I don't think the Queen, I think she's gonna commit suicide before. The Pope's gonna commit suicide. He won't hang. Probably all the presidents will. Hillary, Bill, Barack, Michael. I think they're all probably gonna suicide out. Freezers are on criticals. They're sold out everywhere, John's saying. Doesn't surprise me. Yeah. Well, just look. They rub our noses in it. These listen, if the Pope said the things that he's saying today, if he said these things 50 years ago, they'd have hung him. He basically said that Jesus was a Satanist out of his mouth. Yeah. Gates, Fauci, going down. Well, Gates works for the Rothschilds, for the Rockefellers. He's part of the club. They're all going down. All of them. Yeah. Look at all the pedophile symbols. You see it? I mean, go to the FBI website and look at the symbols and then compare them to what you see religious figures and politicians wearing. That should make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. President Trump has God's hand on him, guiding and protecting him. God showed me this. President Trump, we have nothing to fear from. How long has the Catholic Church been bad? Since the beginning. Since the beginning, since the beginning, 330 is what I'm calling the beginning. AD. I mean, when Jesus was alive, it was called the Way. The Way is Jesus' church. Not my church. I didn't come up with this. It's all good, David. Eric, how you doing? Well, first of all, Kathleen, how do you know what words were really Jesus's? We're talking about a Bible that was assembled 300 years after Jesus died. a lot of these things were oral for generations before they actually wrote this stuff down. So you can't take it literally. How many books did they eliminate from the Bible 600 years ago? Those weren't God's words too? Listen, the facts are evil men manipulated the Bible. You can all believe what you want. It will all be exposed. And trust me, it's going to be a lot closer to what I'm saying than that you have to believe the Bible literally, because it's garbage. They're going to make a lot of appointments. Think about that. President Trump's going to make a lot of appointments in California. What do you think that's going to do to California? It's going to straighten it up real quick. And listen, guys, you can say whatever you want to say about the Bible. My words come from God. God showed me this stuff. You're going to find out that you're wrong. That's okay. I got no hard feelings, but you're wrong about the Bible. You've been bullshitted. And let's talk about this right now. Let's talk about one of the tenets of Christianity, the rapture. What so many Christians hang their hat on. Let's talk about it. When was it first taught? You don't know. Nobody that talks this crap knows anything about the history. I've studied this. I know this stuff. God showed this stuff to me. If you want to be ignorant, it's your choice. I got no problem with that. I'm okay with it because you're on the right path. And your ignorance is going to be exposed. No problem, no foul, no harm. But I'm not going to tell you something just to go along with the flow when it's wrong. And trust me, everything I'm telling you is true. The Bible was assembled by evil men, inspired by God, and God had his hand on it. And it's coming back to bite these people now. Just like the internet, just like Facebook, social media was created by evil men to control us, and it's now been turned against them. You just have to rethink it, guys. Who's teaching us all these things? Look at all the ministers who are corrupt. 85,000 ministers in America taking money from FEMA every month to sell out their flocks. God's not happy. Things are changing. The truth is going to come out about the Bible. It's not to be taken literally. It's basically a history of the Catholic and the Jewish people. That's a fact. Prove me wrong. But don't prove me wrong by telling me it's in the Bible. Because if it's written and controlled by evil men, you can't take anything literally. You have to use your critical thinking skills. For every argument you make with the Bible, you can find another passage in the Bible to make an opposing. Here's a good example. An eye for an eye or turn the other cheek. Which one is it? Time after time after time, I can point out contradictions in the Bible. I'll argue the point all day long. You're never gonna beat me because you're wrong. Ignorance. The rapture wasn't taught. The first time the rapture was taught was in the 1830s in England by an English minister. But you know what? There's not a Christian that can tell you that knows that. You know why? Because if they knew that, they'd understand that it's bullshit. They waited 1,500 years. Bible assembled in 330 AD. Rapture not taught until the 1830s. That's 1,500 years. Explain it. You can't, because it's bullshit. Believe what you want, but I will run over you when you contradict me. Divide and conquer. Oh, I'm calm, guys. Trust me, I'm calm. And here's the other thing, guys. The original Bibles were written in Greek. Just the translations changed the meaning. Passage after passage after passage. You can argue about the translations. You can't seriously take the Bible literally. My God. All about the money. The church has become all about the money. Danny, how you doing? Don't let them get me going. I'm at my best when I get on a roll, guys. Okay, that's all the questions. That's probably good because my blood pressure is starting to go up. Gonna have to take some medication here. Okay. Red pill and prepare. Till the end, guys. Gotta stay positive. That's the key. The enemy thrives on the negative and on fear. We win with unity and positivity. There's no reason to be fearful. There's no reason to worry. Spread that positive word when you're reaching out. Everything that's coming has to happen. It's all for the betterment of mankind. Greatest transfer of wealth in human history. Man's greatest accomplishment, eradicating this evil. 1,000 years of peace and prosperity. Man's greatest age. That's what's coming. Get into it with our prayer. For God and country, amen. I'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.